How goes it, everyone? Corey James here, and today I want to dive into a very intriguing, possibly mind-blowing theory that claims we humans, well, we're not actually human, but rather, we're Martians. Now, although this may seem to be an outrageous theory, the very real reality is that not only do we have evidence to support said theory, but it makes a lot of sense, almost to the point where you find yourself believing it just might be true. But is it? Well, that's what we intend to find out. So, let's get to it. So let's not waste any time, let's dive right into this one and examine the evidence to support this outrageous theory, starting with the actual scientific name, Panspermia, the theory that life exists throughout the universe distributed by space debris, comets, asteroids, meteoroids, and yes, even spacecraft piloted by intelligent extraterrestrial beings. That being said, even though said theory is widely accepted by the scientific community, do they necessarily accept the intelligent intervention part? Not so much. However, they don't discount it because here's the thing. When it comes to the origins of you, me, and the 7.5 billion other human beings walking this planet, frankly, we're clueless. And what's really bizarre, the closer you look, the more you realize. We really don't fit in here. Let me explain. According to modern accepted theory, the modern human in its current form originated around 200,000 years ago and was the result of millions of years of evolution. So, if that is the case, you would think by now, A, we would be perfectly adapted to this planet, but we're not. B, we wouldn't be that dissimilar from everything else, but we are. And C, we could trace our lineage to a point of origin, but we can't. Why? Think about it. Even if we did take a separate path of evolution in which our brain became our greatest strength, this is all very, very recent. There really shouldn't be such a vast difference between us and everything else. And we absolutely should be able to locate our point of origin. So the fact that we are and the reality that we can't lead many to speculate that maybe it's because our origins are not from here, but rather Mars, because not too long ago, according to NASA, the red planet not only had an atmosphere similar to that of Earth, but probably harbored life as well. And here's where things get really intriguing. They think it still might. June 2018, NASA scientist Elizabeth Rampey reveals that 6 years into its mission, the Mars Curiosity rover has been tracking levels of methane gas. And what's even more amazing, said levels seem to have a cycle to them in which they spike in late summer and dip in early winter, which according to NASA could be the result of life on Mars, because as far as we know, methane is a naturally occurring gas formed by both geological and biological processes. But why Mars? Why not another planet or comet, maybe even one outside of our solar system? Great question. And for the answer, just look in the mirror. Because believe it or not, if you were to travel to Mars when it had a viable atmosphere, you would actually find it to be quite enjoyable and a much better fit for you than Earth. Let me explain. On Earth, we need sunglasses and sunscreen to protect us from the harmful rays of the sun, which, when you think about it, doesn't really make a lot of sense because if we originated here and if we evolved here, we should be used to it. Everything else is, you know where it does make sense? On a planet that's just a little further away from the sun. Or what about your back? Chances are at some point it's giving you some issues because according to recent studies, it does for 80% of us, which again seems a little odd. If we did evolve to walk upright, you would think by now our backs would have adjusted, but they haven't. Could it be because we originated on a planet with less gravity pushing down on us? A planet like Mars, where the gravity is a third of that of Earth. Or how about sleeping? Why do so many people have trouble with it? Could it be because our circadian rhythm wasn't built for a 24-hour 24-hour day, but rather one with a little bit more time, say like Mars, where you get an extra 37 minutes added to each day, which, fun fact, seems to be the answer because according to NASA, when their astronauts go into space, their natural circadian rhythm changes from a 24-hour day to a 24.6-hour day, which happens to be an extra 36 minutes. Now, I'm not saying we come from Mars, but I do find the theory super intriguing, and if I'm being perfectly honest, wouldn't necessarily place it out of the realm of possibilities, because again, you seriously have to ask yourself, why in the hell are we so vastly different from everything else on this planet? Why does the sun pose such a threat to our eyes and skin? Why do we experience so many physical issues? And probably the most glaring question, why in the fuck don't we know where we come from? All of that being said, there is another reason many find this theory so intriguing, and it's because, well, it looks like someone's already been there. Now, I understand the concept of pareidolia and finding shapes where none exist, but I mean, that doesn't really seem to be the case here because right angles and straight lines do not naturally occur. Which leaves us with the final question. Let's assume the modern human did originate on Mars. How did we get here? And if you'd like to hear more about that theory and how it ties in with another video I did just a couple weeks back, let's go big with 100 likes on this video, and you got it. How's it going, everybody? Corey James here. Just wanted to say thank you for checking out the video. I very much hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do the little guy a favor. Hit the buttons, the like, the subscribe. If you're feeling a little frisky, hit that notification bell. Leave me some comments, suggestions on future videos. Do it all. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.